Welcome to phase 1 exercises. Now remember, if you're in phase 1, you've got a pretty painful shoulder. Most active motions are painful. You may have constant pain, trouble sleeping at night, and you definitely don't have full range of motion or strength in the arm. There's 4 exercises in phase 1, and the first 3 are postural. And the reason is because every shoulder injury has a component of poor posture that can be easily corrected with some simple exercises. Let me demonstrate something for you. This is poor posture Ed. I got a forward head posture, a rounded shoulder here. And what happens is if I'm in this posture for a long time, it puts a lot of stress on this shoulder. The shoulder was really designed to function back and down. It's much easier to move my arm. So if I'm in this posture a lot, that can be enough to trigger pain in and of itself. So the first exercise is bring the shoulder blades back and down, holding it for 10 seconds, and then releasing it back to neutral. So this is what it looks like here. Shoulder blades are back and down, holding it for 10 seconds, and then releasing it. Now when I release it, I'm not releasing it back to a poor posture, Ed. I'm going to reestablish a better, more neutral position through here of my shoulder blades. What you should feel when you're doing this exercise is the muscles in between the shoulder blades contracting and being able to help stabilize the shoulder blades in a new position, creating a new muscle memory there. So what you'll do is you'll repeat that 10 times, each time with a 10-second hold. The second exercise in phase 1 builds off the first one. So we're going to assume the good posture again, so shoulder blades are back and down, but this time elbows are bent at 90 degrees. Thumbs are rotated out, and we're bringing them out as far as we can, and then back to neutral. The reason we're doing this exercise here is because what we're after is improving the length of a muscle that's deep underneath the shoulder blade called the subscapularis. Now, assuming the right side's my injured side, I may not be able to go out as far on my right side as I can on my left, but that's okay. What you're going to try to do is just go out as far as you can and then back to neutral again. As far as you can. It's going to be a 5-second hold and then back to neutral again. And you're going to repeat that for a total of 10 to 15 times. Exercise 3 in phase 1 talks about learning to engage the core. The reason why that becomes important is because we really want to create a powerful bridge between the lower extremities and the upper extremities. Let me demonstrate. If I'm standing here, first of all, in bad posture, I've got a forward head, no tone through the abdomen, and I'm down through here. So we've already talked about the importance of shoulder blades back and down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to learn to engage the lower abdominals to level off that pelvis. So if I'm standing here and if I don't have good tone through my abdomen, my pelvis is going to want to tilt forward, especially if I have some extra weight right here. This is not the most stable position for me. 2 fingers below the belt line, and I want you to contract the lower abdominals and you'll feel the pelvis leveling. This is what it looks like when it's unlevel, spilling forward, it's an anterior tilt. I'm going to contract the lower abdominals and level off the pelvis. You're going to hold this for a 10-second count, and then you're going to repeat it 10 times. Now the goal with this is to be able to always learn to engage the lower abdominals whenever you're doing any weight-bearing exercises, because it really helps to stabilize the lower back, the pelvis, and once again it bridges connection between the upper body and the lower body. The last exercise in phase 1 is called the pendulum exercise. The pendulum is probably the most important exercise that you're going to be doing in phase 1, and here's the reason why. When you've got a pretty painful arm, and you may even be carrying it by your side, maybe even have it in a sling, the thing that we want to try to avoid is developing what's known as a frozen shoulder, which means the connective tissue around the joint is tightening up. If that tightens up and you develop a frozen shoulder, the length of rehab is stretched out significantly. So we have to figure out a way to be able to move this arm, but without creating a lot of pain because we have a lot of inflammation anyway. For this exercise, you're going to need a chair, something stable that you can lean on. Come through here. Remember, the right side's my affected arm. I'm going to let it hang by my side first. What you should feel is a sense of stretch, a little bit of traction through here as your arm comes away from your side. Once you feel like you can let it relax, then we're going to work on moving the arm in 4 different directions. The first one is clockwise. You notice I'm not taking very big circles, and I'm using my body to facilitate the motion. And the reason is because the muscles of my shoulder are pretty sore, and I don't want to make it more painful. I'm going to do 10 in this direction, and I'm going to go 10 in the counterclockwise direction. Then I'm going to go up and down, and each time I'm only going to go as far as I can comfortably, but I want to be thinking about trying to get a larger amplitude each time. And the last one is side to side, and you may have to move your base of support to allow for that body shift. Remember, with the pendulum, you're going to do 4 different directions each time for 10 repetitions. That concludes phase 1 exercises. Now remember, phase 1 exercises are to be done 2 to 3 times per day. And the main focus of phase 1 is to improve our posture, reestablish better positions of our scapula, and to prevent a frozen shoulder by doing the pendulum exercise as many times as we can, definitely at least 2 to 3 times per day. Once the shoulder starts to feel better, pain starts to come down, we're ready for phase 2 exercises.